Hi, I'm Tara, and I'm going to be talking to you about technology enhanced instruction. First, we'll talk about the standards for preparing students in this digital age. Next, we'll talk about the standards for preparing teachers for the digital age. We're also going to look at some interview questions in order to interview 3 different teachers on their use of technology in their classrooms. We'll look at a sample lesson plan from one of those teachers that really integrates the use of technology. Finally, we'll look at a checklist that I developed, created in order to help me with my future lesson plans and how I can use technology within my classroom. Ready to get started? All right, let's go. Technology enhanced instruction is instruction that really focuses on the benefits of technology in today's world. Let's go over some of the ISTE standards for students. These standards are designed to empower student voice and ensure that learning is a student-driven process. So, students are expected to be empowered learners. They're going to leverage through technology to take an active role in choosing, achieving, and demonstrating competency in their learning goals informed by their learning sciences. They need to be digital citizens. They need to recognize the rights, responsibilities, and opportunities of living, learning, and working in an interconnected digital world, and they act and model in ways that are safe, legal, and ethical. They need to be knowledge constructors. Students critically curate a variety of resources using digital tools to construct knowledge, produce creative artifacts, and make meaningful learning experiences for themselves and others. They need to be innovative designers. Students use a variety of technologies within a design process to identify and solve problems by creating new, useful, or imaginative solutions. They need to be computational thinkers. Students develop and employ strategies for understanding and solving problems in ways that leverage the power of technological methods to develop and test solutions. They need to be creative communicators. Students communicate clearly and express themselves creatively for a variety of purposes using the platforms, tools, styles, formats, and digital media appropriate to their goals. And finally, they need to be global collaborators. Students use digital tools to broaden their perspectives and enrich their learning by collaborating with others and working effectively in teams locally and globally. Now let's talk about the ISTE standards for educators. First, we have the learner. Educators continually improve their practice by learning from and with others and exploring proven and promising practices that leverage technology to improve student learning. The leader. Educators seek out opportunities for leadership to support student empowerment and success and to improve teaching and learning. The citizen. Educators inspire students to positively contribute to and responsibly participate in the digital world. The collaborator. Educators dedicate time to collaborate with both colleagues and students to improve practice, discover and share resources and ideas, and solve problems. The designer. Educators design authentic, learner-driven activities and environments that recognize and accommodate learner variability. The facilitator. Educators facilitate learning with technology to support student achievement of the ISTE standards for students. And finally, the analyst. Educators understand and use data to drive their instruction and support students in achieving their learning goals. The next thing I wanted to do was come up with some questions that I could interview teachers with that kind of guides me on their use of technology in the classroom and what they think. So I interviewed 3 different teachers from 3 completely different subjects and grade levels, and I asked them these questions and got their responses. So let's go see what they said. The first teacher I interviewed is an English as a second language teacher, primarily to first graders. The second teacher I interviewed is an elementary design teacher. The third teacher I interviewed is a high school AP environmental science teacher. So my first question was, how do you use technology in the classroom? We had a broad range of answers in this, but most teachers primarily use it to show PowerPoints, videos, examples of projects that they're going to be working on, for simulators, and for research. How do students respond to using technology? I think The overall consensus on this is students really love using technology. It's fun, it's dynamic, it keeps the kids focused, and it really gets them involved in lessons. Do you find technology helpful or distracting? Every teacher that I asked said that it's helpful. Sometimes it can be distracting, especially with older students who know how to get off tasks, but for the most part, it's very helpful because it really does show students concepts that they wouldn't otherwise be able to access without the technology. What type of technology do you use the most? All three teachers said their computer and their laptop. With other teachers here and there were a few other differences, but primarily the number one piece of technology was the laptop that teachers used the most. What is your favorite type of technology to use? The ESL teacher said she loved using the smartboard because it really gets her students engaged. Otherwise, the elementary design teacher and the AP environmental science teacher both loved their laptop. What are some negatives about using technology in the classroom? The ESL teacher stated that she didn't find many negatives about using technology other than sometimes it can be a little bit distracting. The elementary design teacher said that even though it's positive to use technology, some negatives are that it really interferes with students freely thinking. A lot of students start to depend on researching with the technology or trying to get ideas with the technology. And that also goes for teachers as well. The AP Environmental Science teacher said with his high school students, they can really get distracted. They can easily jump around and work on things that they shouldn't be working on. And sometimes it can be difficult to keep a student fully focused. Now let's look at a sample science lesson that uses technology integrated into the lesson. Students would get this handout, either printed out or digital, but what they're doing is they're basically exploring the states of matter. So they're going to come over here and click on this link, which will bring them to this website. They will then play the simulator, which will really help them understand the states of matter. They can click on the states, the phase changes, interaction. We'll just do a quick sample. Let's say they want to learn about phase changes. They can come over here to the simulator and test out a bunch of different things to see what might happen. They can then take the information that they learned from this simulator and come and fill it into their worksheet. The final thing that I will be talking about is a checklist of questions that I'm going to use to guide the use of technology in my lessons and future lessons. The first question is the technology I am using age appropriate? Number 2, will it benefit all of the students in the classroom? 3, does it engage the students? 4, is it accessible to students at home or just in the classroom? And number 5, will this technology help or distract the students from completing their lesson? Some other things I'm going to think about is how I would integrate my technology in my classroom. When I become a teacher, I plan to teach the early year students, so pre-K through first grade. So technology will be more like an aid for me in my classroom. I can use things like a document camera or interactive things that the whole class can get involved in, like a smartboard. Or maybe we might have a class set of iPads that students can use to help them with certain activities. So this concludes the end of my video. If you have any questions or comments or wanted to leave me any feedback, like something I might have missed, please leave them in the comments below. Otherwise, I want to thank you so much for watching my video, and I really hope you enjoyed.